turn this mic on. And we'll do that whole intro. Good to see you. Happens when sometimes we roll solo. But again, it's good to see y'all. Glad you're here. Cowboys out. Yeah, good to see you, Margot. Yes, go Chiefs. Yes, here I am. So again, what I was just saying was because the Cowboys are out, we took an early X out the playoffs. You don't like the music. Trying to be different. Don't like the music. Okay, I'll turn off the music. No more music. We'll take that off. Because the Cowboys are out, and because this is the play where America's does play, we said, maybe we'll do Metroplex Sport. No, let's do America's sports cast because you know what? This is where America's team plays. This is where the people of the Mavs, people love they love the Rangers, they love the Stars. So yeah, America's cast. We'll see how it works out. But I'm so glad that y'all are joining, y'all tuning in, y'all seeing what we got going on because we're going to talk about. I have an echo. How do I have echo? I hear no echo. This is what it is, James. Good to have you in big game. I don't know echo, but okay, because I don't hear the echo. Check it out. We'll go in here. So got something going on. Make sure that everything is what it's to be, and it looks like it is. So it looks good. And we'll do that, and that, and hopefully that fixes the echo there. Hopefully it does. And also check my audio and make sure it's good. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Don't think there's another mic here. It shouldn't be on. All of the mics should be off. So not sure if that is, but we'll check that out. I'm gonna check that out right now and make sure that we're all to the good. Make sure it's all to the good. As a matter of fact, tell you what I'm gonna do. Let's see. We'll turn off, and that might be what the issue is. Let's see. I see. Okay. Yeah, it all should be turned off, but I'm going to see that. Give me a moment, folks. I'm gonna fix this. Let's see. Okay, that should have. He said, yeah. Now I'm too low. I shouldn't be too low. Wait. That should have. Oh my gosh. That should have fixed that problem there. And we should be good now. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me in the chat. Really appreciate it. There's like a bunch of chatter in the chat, which is good, which is cool. But I've turned that down, so we should be able. You should be able to hear me. He said nope. Is it too high, too low? Give me that. Let's see what we got. Is it too high, too low? Or is it still an echo? There should be an echo now. Because I've turned down the other microphone, which apparently was on. And I don't know why. It's down too low, is what I mean. Okay. We'll go here, and we're going to. Well, it says one is really high. Really high. There's still an echo. Well, don't understand. Still an echo. Turn microphone. Turn all the way down, and there shouldn't be anything there. So I don't know. It's just And if I turn this up, you'll probably hear a microphone, but it sounds really weird. Let's see. Still echo. Well, I turned off that microphone. So I don't know. It's craziness going on here. Just crazy. This is what happens when the Cowboys lose. I know I wasn't crazy last night. You are crazy, big game. You are. But I understand why this is going on and why that changed. It should not have changed. Nothing else changed. But that's crazy. Echo is gone. Okay, so it has to do something with this mic. We'll figure that out. But let's get to, since the echo is gone, you can hear me, should be good enough. I'm going to act like I'm talking through this one, but you know what it is. Let's get into this. The Cowboys have decided, as well as Kellen Moore, has decided to mutually separate. And if I had big games sound effects, I would be clapping ecstatically now because it is time. It's been time that Kellen Moore goes away. Oddly enough, he got a job with the San Diego. Now I'm okay. Is he better than Dak Prescott? Some would say yes. Some do believe he is, even though third season now. I have to believe he is as well. Cowboys, LOL. Yeah, I know. Cowboys, LOL. But it is very interesting to see that, to see him go. Big game, it was time for him to go. He had to go. And shout out to you, man. Thanks for joining in again. Really appreciate it. No, it was definitely time for him to go. He had to. And I'll tell you why he had to. He was consistently inconsistent. When you have a player whom, again, and I will tell you this, and I've said this over and over and over again, since 2016, Dak cannot throw anyone open. But he has qualities where he is a good quarterback. Is he elite? Is he great? Not there. Does he need someone to help him get there? Possibly. He could possibly do that. I don't know, but I do know this. The quarterback coaches that he's had, with the exception of John Kitna, who was our QB coach for a while, they got rid of him. He was a great QB coach. He helped that get where he was in 2016. Now you have Kellen Moore, who they've done nothing since then. So it was his time to go. Okay. He needs to understand how to play call. He needs to understand how to make adjustments throughout the game. He was not doing that. So when you can't do that, that makes it easier for other defenses to understand what you're doing, right? We saw this with San Francisco. San Francisco got destroyed by Philadelphia, utterly destroyed by Philadelphia, right? And the game actually could have gotten more out of hand, but I think Justin Hurts is a little bit more hurt than what people are putting on. right? Because there's no way you're going to tell me that San Francisco scored 7 points, but they allowed 5 rushing touchdowns. There were no passing touchdowns in that game. Now, if Dak is better than Justin Hurts, which that's debatable because Justin Hurts or Jalen Hurts can actually run better than Dak. Let's just put it out there, people. We know this to be true. He can run better than Dak. So if you have someone that has a threat to go outside on you, which is Jalen Hurts, there's the issue. But you still have receivers that, no, they're not on par with Philly, but they are good receivers, at least on paper, right? You have 2 running backs. One did get hurt, so that definitely hurt the situation. And not being able to adjust, that hurts the Cowboys. That hurt them tremendously. When Pollard isn't there, that hurts the game plan. So now the question is, what happens next? What is next for them? Well, there are reports that Mike McCarthy will take over play calling. I think this is great for him because he's got 1 more year on the contract. And you know what? If he's going to go down your way. Go down playing or calling the plays that you want to call, that you believe this offense can call. Go ahead and do it. Because if not, it's still going to be the excuse of, well, if only he only called his plays, if only he had this to do. Listen, now, is he going to do well? He can't manage the clock, but he can do a damn good job when it comes to offensive linemen. So we'll see what he does, because that's going to be the big thing. Now, before I get into that, and because I had echoes and all kind of audio issues and all those things, make sure that you like, subscribe, and smash the bell so I can figure out how to get this better, right? But also make sure that you tell someone, reach out. You can like it, you can love it, do all those things. Also, we are on all of your streaming platforms as far as podcasting, where you want to listen to them on audio. We have Amazon, we have Spotify, we're also on Apple Podcasts. So anywhere you listen to podcasts, we are there. So let's get back into this thing. With Mike McCarthy now being the offensive person on the Cowboys, America's favorite team, America's team, I think you do have to, again, applaud the fact that, or just say, look, you're going to call the plays, you're going to be in charge, do that. No problem. If you let somebody else come in, which I think he should, and there are rumors, there are some people out there saying that, you know what, they should go ahead and hire the QB coach, offensive person that's over in Philly. He used to coach Dak at Mississippi State his junior and senior year when he had his quote-unquote breakout years. I think it would be a great fit. Plus, we take him from Philly. How great is that? So I think you have a great opportunity here for that. If we really believe that Dak is that $40 million quarterback, which a lot of people still believe, here's the opportunity, right? Get a guy in that knows him, that knows how he plays, that just didn't, graduate from college 2-3 years ago, okay? That was in the same quarterback's room when he came in. He has some learning. He understands the game. He understands how to call. He can adjust throughout the game. I think a great point, too, was that this was something that we always thought. The Mannings, on their Manning cast, they talk about halftime adjustments. They said, look, realistically, you got 3 minutes, maybe 5 in halftime. By the time you get in, use the restroom, do what you got to do, get taped up, whatever you're doing, then you're back out, warming back up again. It's really only 5 minutes in the locker room. So there aren't really halftime adjustments, but with the adjustments that you do have, that happens throughout the game. So can he do that? We'll see if he can do that. We'll see if McCarthy can do that. Okay. Do I think he can? We'll see. We'll have to stay tuned. I don't know. But that brings us to another point with the Cowboys here. And again, make sure that you comment because I want to see what you have to say about the Kellen Moore move and the McCarthy and Mike McCarthy actually taking over the play calling and the OC duties as well as the head coach duties. Dan Quinn interviewed with the Indianapolis Colts, the Arizona Cardinals, and Denver Broncos. And he took his name out of that again. So I don't know if he's just interviewing just to interview or just to say, hey, I just want to keep my name relevant, which it already is. But is he the coach in waiting? Some would say yes. I would welcome that. I would welcome Dan Quinn being that. Now, here's the other part, though. He has to get an offensive coordinator, a real good one, because that is not where he is. He proved that in Atlanta, right? And some would say he didn't prove that he was a good DC in Atlanta because New England came back, but they didn't score any points after the first half, right? Or first three quarters. So he's gonna have to find someone, and I'm sure he's looking around. And maybe that's what the interview process is for him, is just to say, hey, I'm gonna look around and see who's who and what's what. So that way, when I do get that head coaching job here in Dallas, I'm gonna bring in my guy. Right? I'm gonna bring in my OC. And I think also that was the other part with Kellen Moore is he said, hey, he saw the writing on the wall. I'm not going to last long here. You're right. It's time for me to go somewhere else. And it was time for him to go. It really was. So Dan Quinn interviewing with these three teams. My question to you, though, is do you believe that Dan Quinn knew that Sean Payton was in the hunt and really going to get that job? It just seems kind of odd how quickly it came about and turned around because, Sean Payton was on the market for a while, and a lot of people did not want to pull that trigger for him. And it came out, the deal reportedly was that they get a first round this year, they get Denver's first, and their next year's second, right? And they'll swap and they'll get New Orleans first. So plus he's not in the division, let alone the conference. So I'm sure that had a big part of why he went to Denver. And he wasn't going to go to Arizona. That's a big issue, and that defense down there is not what it is. Indianapolis, I tip my hat to them. They tried. Hey, look, they're professionals. They did their job. But the reality is there's nothing in Indianapolis. He would have to, basically start from scratch. Same thing with Carolina. He would have to start from scratch. There's no quarterback that's there. And your defense, it's not a great defense, okay? So everywhere you look around, with the exception of maybe Denver, who has a decent offense, right? And they have a decent defense. And so, hey, Trey, yeah, so that's what I was saying earlier. I guess because it's basketball season and he's a Lakers fan, don't get that. Anyway, he's a Lakers fan, so he said, hey, he had to drop out of here. But no, he'll be back. We'll also have some other people that will be coming through here. And we'll be speaking about all things America's favorite sports town. That's right here in the DFW, the Metroplex. For those that don't know, that's Dallas-Fort Worth. We'll be talking about all those things, all those teams that are housed right here, because this is America's favorite team town. I'm telling you, all your favorite teams are right here. Cowboys, Mavericks, Rangers, Stars. I don't like the Stars, but they're here. Even FC Dallas. We don't even talk WNBA. Who knows? We can talk about whatever we want to here. Yeah, so, that's pretty much it for Dallas. Luka needs some help. Look, let's jump into it. Thank you. Big game. It's like you're right here with me. Luka is averaging 33.4 points a game this season. He still is averaging 8.9 rebounds per game, which is pretty much where he's been, right, every season. He's averaging 1.5 steals a game, which is where he's been every season. Here's the question I have for y'all. Is this the beginning? Yeah, it is. It's everybody's. Everyone loves to talk about the Cowboys. Everyone loves to talk about the Mavs. They don't talk about the Rangers because they suck, right? That's just call it what it is. The Rangers is not that good. But they still talk about them. But yeah, those two teams, very relevant because everyone wants to know what's going on. They have owners that people love to talk about. And we're going to talk about Mark Cuban here in a minute. But do we believe this is the beginning of the end of Luka in Dallas? With Luka scoring at this high rate, right? And when you start talking about minutes per game, if we go down the list, we go down through the season, starting in 2018, 2019, he averaged 32 games, 32 minutes per game, 33, 34, 35, 36. Right now, he's averaging 36 minutes a game. Now, you may say, oh, okay, well, is that a lot? Let's put it relative. They only play 48. So he sits about 11 minutes per game. 11 minutes. Now, what is that relative to the game itself? Okay, yeah, they take timeouts, TV timeouts, halftime, all those other things. But still, he is playing 11. He's not playing 11 of the 48 minutes. He's playing 36.8 minutes of a 48-minute game. That's a lot of minutes. That's a lot of minutes, right? And he's scoring. I mean, he's giving you everything. But I do think there has to be something here where we say, look, if you're playing at such, a high rate and at a long clip, and where it's 33.4 points a game, something's going to give. We're looking at Brunson, who is now, look, we didn't want to pay Brunson, right, $11 million a year. We didn't want to do it. So we signed Powell to $10 million a year because that $1 million counts. It means something. I don't know what it means, but apparently it means something. It means enough that Jalen Brunson now in New York, as we laughed and said, ha ha, bye-bye, Jalen. Well, now he's being considered an all-star in New York. But we didn't want to have him here in Dallas because here's my theory. You know I love theories. Mark Cuban, in my opinion, looks at this team or acts like he looks at this team like it's an investment, right? And so what do I mean by that? Well, Mark Cuban is probably one of the best entrepreneurs that's out there, right? He took a small tech company, made it into a giant, sold it, did it again, did it again, did it again, did it again. He has made money over money over money over money. And to that, I applaud him. He bought the team, and in 2011, they hit the pinnacle. They actually won the NBA championship when no one thought they would, doubted them, put them out. Now, yes, I understand you're going to say, well, what about 2006, 2007, Miami? I get that, right? I totally get that. Still, they didn't win it then, but they did win in 2011. And one of his regrets that he's actually put out is that because they won it in 2011, after that, he didn't see past that, right? So he let everyone go, okay? Let everyone go, didn't sign anyone, said, hey, these guys are old. C'est la vie, bye-bye. Well, fast forward to 2022, 2023 season. Your biggest star, of course, is gone. Dirk is gone. Now you have Luka, but you have nothing around Luka to really support him in his bid. Listen, I will say this, and I truly believe this. You have to have at least one other star on your team to make it. You cannot do it with just one star. Some would argue Kobe did it, but I will argue back that it just wasn't Kobe. It just wasn't Kobe that won it because Paul Gasol was still a star. He was still an all-star at that point, right? Yes, he had aged, but he was still an all-star. There's no other all-stars on this team. None. So how can Luka really take this team to the next level? That's going to be the question. How can he really take us to the next level? Right? So if Cuban is looking at this as an entrepreneur and says, hey, we made it, we did it, but he's at every game. He cheers on the Mavs every game. And I love that about the owner. I was talking to someone earlier today and brought this question up to him. And they said, well, He's starting to take cues from Jerry Jones where, hey, richest sports franchise in the world, yet can't get over that hump, right? They can't get to that next level. They can't get past themselves. So it has to come down to what's next for Mark Cuban and how is he going to get this team to that next level? Who's he going to look for? He's got to start making moves. Luka I just don't think he's going to stay longer or long past his contract. He may even try to opt out of his contract or try to force a trade if there isn't any movement. Think about it like this. And it's one of those things that I had to realize here was this is Luka's 5th year, right? This is 5th season. This is 5th season. What's the point where you say, okay, look, I'm done, I'm good, I'm out of here, right? That it's frustrating. It's frustrating because you look at the West, and the West is stacked, man. The West is stacked. Mavericks got to spend some money. They got the money, and you're right, because the Jalen Brunson thing. I think it was the evaluation of Jalen Brunson and the amount of money, and saying that Jalen Brunson is not worth that money. Right? He's not worth that amount. The Knicks thought he was. Plus, there were some other things going on. I don't think he was going to sign with the Mavericks anyway. Once the Knicks got into it and say, yeah, hey, his dad is there in New York. He grew up a Knicks fan. His dad played for the Knicks. Yeah, he's going to go. Do they need to spend money? Yeah, but they need to spend the right money. They need to go out and get the right pieces for him, right? Spencer Dinwiddie is not a bad piece, but he's a piece. Like he's a six man, but he's starting. Okay, fine. You got Powell, you got Kleber, you have. It's. You look at this team and it makes you wonder, what are you trying to do? Like you had Kemba Walker. No disrespect, but he's Kemba Walker. Like it's Kemba Walker, right? Now Kemba Walker. Now, if it was Kemba Walker maybe 4 or 5 years ago, okay. It's Kemba Walker today. And as we all get older, our bodies don't respond the way we want them to. They don't bounce back like we want them to. That's that guy, right? So they've got to go out in free agency and get some guys and spend some money and make this place a place where they can say, look, Luka's a star, but we're here to win championships. Be a part of that, right? I'm looking at, again, we look at the West and we look at the culture that Golden State has. And I hate comparing because we're different. But at the end of the day, not that much. Golden State has brought a culture about it where you have people like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, KD. All these people want to play. Even LeBron said he wanted to play with Steph Curry. Right? It's the culture. It's, hey, we're a team. This is what it's all about. I don't have to score as long as we win. But they're just reloading. Poole is now in the regular rotation, right, with Steph. So I'm telling you, that's the team you got to look out for. They're going to win it. I won't say they'll win it all. They're obviously going to be in a high seed in the West. And if they go to the championship in the series, yeah, it's going to be great to see Golden State and Boston again. Philly is nice. Philly is nice. But I look at Philly, and I also look at Luka here the same way that I look at Embiid there. Joel Embiid playing a lot of minutes, and he's injury prone now. I'm saying it. I don't wish it on him, but he is, right? And you still have Harden, who, what is he doing there? He'll give you some games a night, whatever, but Philly is not going to do it. I just don't see it. The Bucks aren't 100%. When they are, I'll give you that evaluation. But until they are, they're not those guys, right? So you have Miami is always kind of in the mixing, of course. Well, Minnesota was there, now they're not anymore. So it's really Boston's to lose, and they've been on the tear. They even have referees that cheat for them. So Boston, they're coming out of the East. You have the refs cheating for you when they don't call calls. Man, wow, nice. You doing it because you got the biggest superstar, and again, the GOAT of his era, LeBron James, and he can't get a call. Yeah, you're pretty big time. You're doing some things. So there's that. What happens to the Mavs? Where are they now? See, last I checked, they were 1/500. They lost to the Jazz. That was a couple of days ago. They're going to have to give Luka some help. They're going to have to spend some money, as my guy Big Game said. They're going to have to spend some money. They spend some money, they have a chance. Otherwise, this is going to be a very short playoff season for us. Very short. While we won't see Luka for the long term, he's not going to be a 20-year player like we had with Dirk. He's just not going to be that dude. So there's that on that. Stars are playing. Like I said, I don't really follow Stars, but they play hockey. If you want to follow them, follow them. All right. Rangers haven't started yet. They've got some people in the bullpen. Yeah. Rangers are disappointing, man. It's hard to follow them. They've got to shore up that bullpen. They got to shore up their starting pitchers, their rotation. Again, they're just focusing on bats. But the problem is that when those bats go cold, who you got? So they got to, do better in that farm system, do better in that rotation, and then we'll look in Arizona and we'll see how they do. Otherwise, it's gonna be another disappointing season where by All-Star, you're just trying to figure out, what you're gonna do with yourself for the rest of the summer, and you're just waiting for football season to start again, like we did for the past several seasons. And we'll have the Cowboys to look out for, and hopefully we won't be disappointed. There's always WNBA, some would say. Yep, someone say that. So that's really it. That's all we have. It's a short show tonight, short podcast. I'm gonna go back and fix everything. I'm gonna fix everything. But I'm glad you came with me. Thank you for this short journey for tonight. Listen, stay tuned. And if you have a better name for this type of podcast for us in America's favorite cast, that's what I really want to call it, America's Teams Podcast or America's Teams Cast or something like that. Because again, your favorite teams are housed right here in the DFW area in the Metroplex. So it may be Metroplex Sports. We don't know. We'll figure it out. But hey, come back. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for listening. Keep it classy. Keep it 100. Let's go.